Hey, what's going on, digital automators? My name is Gideon Dave Newell, and like you, I am an automator. I've got an agency of my own where I help clients get more business, and I do that primarily through automating systems for them, just like I've done in my own business. But I'm jumping in here real quick today because I knew something that you needed to know right away. It's a sort of foundational step for many of your subsequent marketing efforts, but it takes some time to get the ball rolling. So that's why it's important to take this initial step quickly, soon, so that it can gather steam, so to speak, or snowball, as I wrote in the description of the post. And that is a simple 5-minute step of researching and joining the right Facebook groups. Facebook groups are where all the action is today. It's sort of the watering hole, the gathering place for customers and clients, across the spectrum, whatever it is that you're searching for. That's where you're going to find them. And so you need to infiltrate isn't the right word, but you definitely want to insinuate yourself into the groups, become an active, giving, participating member of those communities in order to later draw some value yourself, some customers and clients. But before I get started in a demo of just exactly how I do this, I want to throw a little poll up here on the screen so that we can find out a little bit about where everybody's coming from. There we go. What is your top anticipated source of new customers for 2019? Today, the topic I'm talking about is Facebook groups, but of course that's not the only place that you might potentially be getting your customers from. So I've put a few other options in here, just to see if you folks had some thoughts and opinions. I'd love to read those, but I wanted to start the broadcast by throwing that up on screen for you. All right, now as I get back and rolling, I guess I can take my name off here. You read it, I'm sure you know. I'm Gideon Dave Newell if you're jumping in late. But Facebook groups, told you the importance of them, told you what you're going to find there, and a prerequisite to jumping into these groups is you need to first understand and know who your target audience is. Now, in all likelihood, you already know that, but perhaps you don't. Maybe you're just starting off new and you haven't really defined that as clearly as you want to. So think about that. If you're going after nail salons and you want to be the marketer or the web designer for nail salons, and you're the expert go-to person in that field, well, what you would want to do in this exercise as you follow along with me is research all the groups where the nail salon owners hang out. And you want to jump in there and start building some relationships. I happen to currently help a lot of realtors and people in the real estate niche, but I'm looking to expand into web designers. I come myself from the web design world. I've been making websites since the 1990s, and I started my own agency in 2006. So I speak their language. I know some of the tools and the things that are going to help them. But believe it or not, I've never actually gone on Facebook and joined several of the web designer groups. So that's what I'm going to do here live, without a net with you guys here today. So let me share my screen. And I'll jump right in here to a search on Facebook. You go up here to the top bar. I realize my face bubble is obscuring the search box, but at the top I've typed in the words web design. And then in this second navigation bar just below, I've gone over here to where it says groups. And I've clicked that, and what do you know? Here are all the different groups that are out there on Facebook where they purport to gather web designers. So I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to use my command key to hit the join button, and many of them are going to ask you questions. They're going to be closed groups, and they're going to want to know things like, if you're a web designer, what's your website? You want to join a nail salon owner group? Tell me about yourself. So be prepared to have to abandon a few of these groups because you don't necessarily meet their criteria. But many of them are open, and they're willing to take people of all stripes. So what is the purpose for joining this group? Now, a great habit when you're jumping into a bunch of these groups, as I join a few of them and I get to feel out what the sort of questions they ask for is, I'm going to copy my own answers and paste them someplace in an external file, like a text file on my Evernote or something. That way it'll speed up the process as I'm joining more groups. But I'm going to put something generic here, like to network and learn from my fellow web design pros. They have only one question, so that one is actually quite simple. I'm going to send that to the admins. And as I said, this process will take a few days. That's why you want to take this first step today, get it started, get the ball rolling, so that you can later reap the rewards. Web Design SEO Business Mastermind. It's got 4.3 thousand members. Sounds good to me. This first one I forgot to point out is listed at the top because of this number, 443,000 members. 10 plus posts a day. So that's actually a pretty big community, and that's one of the things you're looking for as you see these listed. But I'm going to join that. What's your biggest struggle? Oh, let me first write a text note with my previous answer, and it'll take a second here. New note. You guys use Evernote? What do you use? Something else? Microsoft text editor. I don't know. I'm on a Mac. I realize it's got built-in notes, but I'm an Evernote fan. All right, so let's continue. Biggest struggle is finding new clients. And again, I'm going to copy my answer, paste it into my Evernote so I can retrieve that the next time I need it. What best describes you? I haven't started my business yet. I've started, but I need growing. Business is doing well. I want to be part of a smaller community. This is probably, for me, number 3. And I'm going to elaborate a little bit. Sometimes elaborating a little bit in your answers will ingratiate the admins of groups a little closer to you. But you know, the easy thing to do would just be to put 3. Move on to the next question. But that can take a few seconds to answer this. Building websites ever since. Gotta paste it over here so I can retrieve it if I need it again. For a better experience, spam, self-promotion are not allowed. And I'll get into that in a moment. Although I'm sure you never do that. You understand, you post. No, understood. Exclamation mark. All right, so we've just posted a request to join that one, etc., etc. You know, I won't walk you through all dozen of these, but you know, take a good 5 to 10 minutes, as little as you want or as long as you want, to join a bunch of them, because this one was just a request. It didn't have any questions, so it's just a simple matter of clicking the button. I'll do one more, then I'll do a 4th. Your place, country. Okay, well, I'm in Connecticut, USA. My skills are in the Adobe suite, I would say, and automation. Do you understand and agree? Yes, I understand. Understood. Okay. There you go. So let's jump back here and get my camera. So got the idea. Let me, while I got your attention, throw a question of the day up here. What is your target audience niche? This is sort of a prerequisite to being able to do this task, to joining groups. You kind of got to know who your customer is. So yeah, drop in the comments. Who are you going after? Maybe you are going after nail salons, ladies, or owners, or perhaps you know, you want to be the person who helps donut shop owners. You know, we've all got a niche, and the sooner you define that, the better position you'll be in, because you can concentrate your marketing efforts and reuse materials, the same graphics, the same text, you know, those assets you'll be able to reuse, as well as your success stories. People respond better when the social proof, the success story, testimonial, case study that they're seeing relates to them. The sooner they can, or the closer they can associate, the better. So if you've chosen a niche, you're going to start to gather a bunch of success stories, customers and clients that you've helped in that niche, which is only going to attract more of your ideal client. So go ahead and put a comment there to see who your target audience and niche is, and perhaps we can find some synergies with where the folks in this group of digital automations and entrepreneurs can start putting 2 heads together, 3 heads, 4 heads to help you with some of your problems. As I said, my niche currently has been realtors. I help them get 8 times more leads than Zillow without having to fight and rush to the phone to beat other agents. So that's kind of the tag that I drop. But I'm also expanding into web designers because I know that audience so well, and I think I can help them a lot. But knowing what your audience niche is going to help you a lot. So let me jump back in here to the poll to see if we've got some answers, and I will publish the results for you. Maybe I should answer myself, huh? I likewise am anticipating that Facebook groups are going to be a big source of my 2019 business. But here's the results. 50% between Facebook groups and cold outreach, which is really cool. Those, I don't disparage any of these methods, and plenty others. A lot of people, like to stick to LinkedIn, for instance. It depends on who your audience niche is. Right now, my question of the day is obscuring the results, so I'm going to take that off the screen. But Facebook groups are great. They take a little bit of patience and work, but they're great because they're free. You don't have to pay money as you do in ads. And cold outreach can cost money, depending on how you do it. It can cost time in all instances. Of course, there's some great ways to automate that. I'm sure you'll learn about soon. But Facebook groups is a great foundational one to get started in. As I say in the description of the post, it's important that once these admins start approving me for their groups, I don't jump in and right away start pitching my thing and dropping my links everywhere. That's the only thing worse than dropping an unsolicited post with your link hanging out is to drop an unsolicited photo of your post with your link hanging out. We all know what that's like, so we don't want to add that. The world's got enough of that as it is. Don't go in there and start being a salesman on day one. You got to build some value and some trust with this community that you're part of. You see somebody's question and you think that that's a question you can help with and you can legitimately, honestly answer and help that person, do so. Go ahead and write in there. Try to be quick. Try to be the first one. Try to get that in there. Likes and hearts for other people's comments. Just become known, and become a trusted person in that community. And in time, you'll have built enough rapport and enough social currency, so to speak, that maybe every once in a while it's okay to put some sort of post in there for an offering that you have. Hey guys, I know it's not what you're necessarily looking for right now, but I thought a few of you, based on the conversations we've been having, have been could benefit from this tool, so I just wanted to drop a quick link in here. Something like that. There's 101 ways to do it, but especially when we joined those groups and they specifically asked us not to spam, you want to honor that, and you want to have some integrity. But if you work hard at providing and giving some value, then in all likelihood you might not even need to put any sorts of pitches or asks in there. Just over time, organically, people are going to want to know a little bit more about you. This person, this guy, Gideon Dave Newell, he seems to know what he's talking about. He's put in a lot of, helpful answers. Let me click on his name and take a look at his profile and see what he does. People are going to do that, and they're going to be drawn to you. And before you know it, they're going to be reaching out and asking you, what further tools, what further services, products, what do you have, and so that's the ideal way to approach groups. But it all starts with researching them and joining them. You can't, start picking fruit from a tree that you don't own, that's not in your backyard. So you got to go start planting some seeds today, because we all want 2019 to have a big harvest, right? So let's start doing that, start joining some groups, and in the coming days I'll show you some of the ways you can nurture those relationships and how you can build in your automations to make even more of this a smooth, streamlined process. All right, well, something I should have done a moment ago is get a glance at the potential comments. Anything coming in here? Nope, no questions. So guess I won't be jumping in with any of those. If you're still on the live, appreciate your attention and your kind giving of your time. Throw my name up on screen one more time in case you forgot who I am. Gideon Dave Newell, chatbot engineer, automator, and whatever you're up to, whatever your title, whatever your name is today, let's get to know one another. Reach out, click on my name, and send me a message. Let's find out what we can do to help one another. But hope you have a productive remainder of the Thursday. All right, thanks.